And I'm going to monitor us on Twitch, hopefully. And hello, everybody. Hello. I'm Matthew from, and these are all my players. Nicholas, you go first. Say hi.
Hi, I'm Nicholas.
David?
Playing Fayad.
Hi, that's a really smooth opening, Matthew. Well done.
Yeah.
That was excellent. Yeah. I'm Dave. I'm playing Ocean Ispartha.
Paul, next. Cool.
Hello, I'm Paul. I'm playing Adib.
Hello, my name's Millie. My character's called Jalia.
Hello, I'm Tony. I'm Yakub Nassar.
Excellent. And I'm the GM, and we are shortly going to be exploring the ship, the Zafirah, I hope, as long as you know what you're going to be doing with the man who's just surrendered to you. Does somebody want to give us a little recap about what happened last week?
Who's going to go? Come on.
Tony
Nobody
does.
make eye contact.
Well, I will, but if nobody else is going to, as is traditional, but if somebody else wants to, then feel free to go ahead.
I think,
No?
I think
Okay.
four people have just stepped backwards when people said anyone wants to volunteer. Yeah.
We bumped into the other salvage ship that was salvaging the same ship that we were looking for. We came up with a cunning plan whereby I was going to stay on board ship and negotiate with the captain of the other salvage ship, while everyone else, apart from Adib, I think, stayed on the ship as well. We're going to spacewalk over and sneak onto the other ship. I'm not sure we had worked out what was going to happen after that.
It was an insurance policy, wasn't
It
it?
basically got into a fight. You kind of hid away in a bit of the debris that was being taken on board. Got into a fight, killed some people. There was a creature. The bit of debris that you hid in was part of the stasis bay with stasis pods in it, and there was some creature in there that kind of woke up and attacked you. Other than that, the stasis bay was full of dead people. You got into a fight with crew. I think killed a couple of them, injured a couple of them, and which persuaded the captain to surrender by basically torturing one of the ones that was still alive and threatening to do worse. Good work.
Persuading. You know.
Yeah.
It's just like fighting in people's houses. It's fine.
In the meantime, I think back over in the ship, Ocean had set up a bit of an autopilot to kind of bring us over to the other salvage ship, and at one point we did press the button to activate that because we were kind of still pretending to try and negotiate with the captain.
There was that point where he turned his ship so the guns faced us. That's when we pushed the button, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, because we were basically delaying. We said, yeah, we'll come over, and then we didn't do anything. And the captain was understandably quite suspicious, especially when a gunfight broke out. So we did press the button and started heading over. So I don't think we kind of resolved whether that all happened successfully or not. And the Captain Yami of the salvage vessel had surrendered. I think was the last thing that happened last time.
Yeah. So I think we should cut to you having docked successfully and bring the crew back together. Yami El-Awar is treating his crew in the medical bay and at the same time trying to negotiate with you. Now, Yami is a four-armed person in that
he's forewarned, therefore he's forearmed.
no, he has an extra set of arm limbs, is what I'm saying. And in fact, I shouldn't say he, actually. I called him he all last time. He's a they. He's a hijra, I should say. Yeah. So they are with two of their hands gesticulating wildly to you, while with the other two of their hands sewing up one of their crew members that you left a great big hole in. And all around you, there are other crew people in various states of pain and injury. And outside, there are your sort of client and her two bodyguards, Nadina and Della and Farouk. And so he says, look, let me go in peace. Let my crew go in peace. I'll give you everything.
Just out of interest, how many crew has he got left, and how many of them are uninjured? Just
now you want to make me to go back to.
And what are their names, Matthew?
Most of them are injured. I can give you their names, mate. I can give you their bloody names.
They grow up on.
There'll be a test at the end.
Well, okay. Lagar comes from the planet or from the system of Sivas.
All right. Okay.
And
Not sure we really care that much.
and she is uninjured and currently on the bridge. You have injured Chopra, who's a nomad. You have also injured Rani, who is a former slave from Algol. I think you've also injured only slightly. I think the engineer was, I think, actually laid low. And they are a Menkar humanite. I think the last uninjured person is Krish, or a Scavara from Coriolis, who is also an engineer. And the sensor operator, Mook, is, I think, the most badly damaged. And he's a Menkar nomad.
Did we kill any of them?
No, I don't think anybody... I
No,
don't think anybody
broken-
quite died. Broken, a few, yeah. And there's somebody... Yeah, Menkar is the most badly... Sorry, not Menkar. Mook, the Menkar colonist, has broken their spine. You've broken one of their spines, so they look like they're paralysed. And that's the one that the captain is treating, even as he speaks to you, as they speak to you.
Okay.
And they're saying, all I need is peace. Take what you want. I don't care anymore.
Where do you fly from? Where are you going back to as your base after this?
We're salvagers. We're a nomad fleet.
Right.
Well, do you know, let me lecture you on how the nomads are organized, shall I?
Is he reading from my
We
essay?
travel around the third horizon. I will read from your essay, if you so insist, Dave.
Sorry. Everyone,
I
got
read this
this-
article on the ship. I read this article in the library we've got. Hang on.
There's a clue in the name, Nomad.
Yes, we travel. We make a living buying and selling this sort of stuff. I bought the location of this vessel from Syndicate. I don't know where they got it from, but they're not interested in the results. They just gave me this in return for money. I thought it was all mine, at the only minor risk of being caught by the horizon. The fellows, the religious fellows. Where they come from? Zalos.
the pariah, yeah.
The pariah, the order of the pariah. But I can avoid them. It's not you I can avoid, it seems.
I guess we need to check their salvage stash for the emerald disc, don't we?
No, you will not find it here. That piece you came in was the first one. The most valuable piece. There's machinery there I can sell. The beds. But you said, and he turns to you, Tony, you said you are looking for this emerald disc, and I have an idea where it might be. I will give you that if I have your promise On your lives and on the life, and with all the icons looking down upon us, your promise you will let us live.
Oh, well, I think we need to have a little discussion in private, don't we?
That doesn't sound like we're leaping to promising, does it? We just sort of
for
look
me
at
to
each other.
promise.
And go,
Well, not for me to promise. I'll look at Oshin and Yakub and be like, "You're the boss man now."
We can go through their logs. We can kill them and go through their logs. We'll find the location soon enough, says one of the legionaries, filling the space. We don't need his cooperation. Let me kill him now.
We don't really need to
cannot
kill
condone
them,
this.
do we? We don't really need to kill them. They're just honest salvages, I think, aren't they? Pretty sure.
Do you want to spend a darkness point on
What
being
okay,
really
what-
sure?
So, Captain, what reassurance can you tell us that you won't repeat this incident to anybody else anywhere?
I am a nomad. We have a strict code of honor. It's page 3 of your article. It's the addendum to your article. No. You have proved yourselves worthy adversaries. I know wherever I go in the horizon, if I were to mention your existence even, you would find me and kill me in the dark. You've seen how you've laid my crew low here.
Fayaz tries his mind reading here, to see if he is just telling the truth. If he actually
Okay, is that a darkness point,
think
Fayez?
probably.
I'm taking a darkness point. If you find out it isn't, then I will quite happily put that back in the pool. But also make a Mystic Powers roll then.
Yes. 1 success. Yes.
Well then, it seems that he is telling the truth. He's honestly scared. I mean, you know, they're all scared because you came out them out of nowhere, and they weren't expecting anybody to come leaping out of that airlock in the way that you did. They weren't armed. You were ruthless in your taking them down, and yeah, they're scared.
So are we having like a little sort of like team moment? Is that what we're doing? And shout it? Have we got a moment of privacy, if we will?
Team
I
huddle.
think we should have.
Well,
yeah.
if you want to find somewhere to go, he's busy, you know, fixing the guy you paralysed.
Can
So
we just,
yeah, he's not going to follow you and listen in.
can we just be at the far end of the med bay and have a quiet conversation so we can still see?
Well,
him?
the med bay's pretty small. You'd have to go to the corridor outside, I think, unless you want him to hear.
Okay. Does it matter? If
This is
we-
an honest man. We cannot kill him.
Look, if we need some assurances that he's not gonna go immediately to someone and tell him, once we've found the disc, I could stay with them for a bit.
I've seen his thoughts. He will not betray us.
Is Nadina with us?
Yes, she is.
So
If you've gone outside the med bay, they're away.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're all there. There's
So
not quite enough
consider-
room for all of you in the med bay.
considering what we've said and what we've heard and Fayaz's assessment of this fellow, how much more reassurance do you need that he will be discreet about what's happened here?
He's a nomad.
Because we don't want to kill them, I guess, if we don't have to.
No.
Ideally, we don't. I could make life very difficult, not just for him, but for his fleet, if he crosses us. I'm ready to let him live. The two legionaries are mumbling that they should kill them all.
They'll obey you, Nadina, won't they?
The legionaries.
Yes.
Sorry, no. She's not saying that. In the background, they're saying that. So they're with you as well.
Okay. Oh, right. But Nadina's saying that she's happy to let them live.
Yes.
Okay.
And she gives them a bit of side eye to say, you do what I say here.
And this, Nadina, meets your criteria for discretion under the terms of our arrangement.
So all you're worried about is the extra 10,000 burr, is that it?
Well, otherwise, we're not making a profit on this trip. So, yes, I am worried about this 10,000 burr.
So let me just understand your nature. There are 7 people you would kill to retain 10,000 burr.
That's
Very well. Let me reassure you that
Not
you
necessarily.
do not have to kill these 7 people to retain your 10,000 burr.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, that's fair enough. If you make the calculation, I'm not prepared to murder somebody for 1,200 burr or however much it comes to per person.
our services as hitman becomes much more expensive than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so we let them live. We're agreed?
Yes, I think so.
Yes.
Anyone?
More mumbling from the legionnaires. And she turns to them and says, we let them live. Okay.
We need to find. Okay, so where did he think the bit of scrap that we need to get to is?
He says, look, I'm busy right now, but go to the bridge, talk to my pilot. She'll tell you more.
Okay,
Okay.
that sounds reasonable.
Okay. So you go to the bridge and you find the pilot there. And I've just forgotten her name again. And she is Lager. And she is quite matter of fact. And she says, well, just before your ambush, she says, we'd picked up this signal here. And she switches on, goes over to the datagen station and switches on a recording that they'd made. It's weak. It's kind of intermittent, she says, but it's definitely, and you can see this, Tony, kind of through the buzz of the data that's coming here, a signal that definitely looks like a transponder signal. And then she switches and says, and we narrowed it down to just here. And she points, you're orbiting a moon at the moment. And on effectively the dark side of this moon, she points out the area that it's in. I'm not quite sure why it's so weak, she says, but we're pretty sure it's down there. Transponder signal comes from somewhere near the bridge. You're looking for the emerald disc, you say?
Yes. Correct.
Stored somewhere near the bridge as well. So, looks like this ship got ripped in half. The heavier half got caught by this moon's gravity and has been pulled down to the surface. These bits we found, well, got to admit, we started taking these apart just to fit them in the hold. And then, you came in kind of uninvited.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain too loudly, seeing there's a couple of legionnaires who are very trigger finger itchy, if that's even a phrase.
No, I don't think it is. No, not in that order. All those words I think could be put together to make a phrase, but that's not it.
Words are hard.
They are right now, that's for sure. I'll be back in a minute.
Dave's lost. So the where we think this disc is going to be is it actually on the moon's surface or just kind of being? pulled towards it? Do we
It's on the moon's surface, or possibly obscured somehow.
So we are. What kind of distance are we orbiting at the moment? Presumably, we need to take the ship down to the surface.
Yes, you'll need to take. I don't know whether this particular ship that you're on at the moment has got can actually do atmospheric landings. It's a very thin atmosphere because it's only a moon, but it would need that feature. Yeah, it can. This ship could do it, and yours definitely can.
Yeah. So we're trusting these guys, are we? So we could just leave them to their salvage.
One of the Legionnaires says, if you want somebody to keep an eye on them, I will.
Does he do it with a wink?
I
Like,
was going to say,
I'll keep an eye on them. Yeah.
As he
Look at-
loads his carbine.
yeah. Look at their boss. What does she? How does she react to it? She's like, no, no, don't do that.
I mean, maybe we do want to keep a bit of an eye on them until we've actually found the emerald disc.
yeah. Okay.
Potentially just in case it is actually turns out that it's not there. I think they're honest, from what Fire saw, I think they're honestly, telling us where they think it is. But if it turns out it's not there and it's somehow already hidden in the salvage they're taking on board, then we don't want them to fly off with it
No, absolutely.
until we found it.
So with Najara being docked to this, I'm assuming we are docked now.
Yeah.
Presumably, the gravity on this moon is so slight that we could just land on it whilst the two ships are docked.
Oh, I'm not sure whether that's a thing. No, I would have thought that that docking point is about 0 G. I don't even know whether you're both at the right angle to both put your landing gear down at the same time. And there is some gravity and there's some atmosphere. I think that would be a dangerous operation.
Fair enough. Shall I go back to Najara?
I mean, I'm willing to let you do it as a piloting role.
No. No, that's fine.
But there is already a -1 on the piloting roll. Just to say. So what's your choice?
So shall I go back to Najara and we take both ships down? Or do we just leave the legionnaires, the legionaries on board? Restrictions not to kill them.
Yeah.
Is the pilot overhearing this? She'll say, "Look, I'll bring the ship down too, as long as we've got everything secure. If that's what it means to not have him being our guardian."
Okay.
That's pretty fair enough.
So, do you want to split forces between the two ships, or all go back to your ship?
Split forces probably makes most sense.
Makes more sense. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I agree.
Payas is staying on. He wants to keep an eye on the Legionnaires.
Are you a pilot at all, Fires?
Not at all.
No, okay.
Would I work in a ship dock?
Is anybody here a pilot other than me? No, okay. Fine.
I think that's something you asked last week. That time when you created the automatic docking procedure, so
Yeah. Fair enough. Is that now a feature of my
In fact,
ship?
I'm not even sure that you're a pilot.
I am a pilot.
Yeah, not a great one from previous landings.
That wasn't my fault. I was doing perfectly well until somebody shot a rocket at me.
You failed the piloting role, and then I had the idea of saying, "Oh, there's somebody who can shoot a rocket at you."
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not very good at piloting. That's true.
But Joe, better than the rest of us.
Okay, I'll go back to the ship then and undock.
Okay, well, it doesn't make any odds. Let's get you down onto the surface. Unless you want to do a reconnaissance roll over this thing. Do you and Tony want to go in one ship together and do some data ginning?
Doesn't hurt, does it?
No, yeah. So let's do that. So I'll go back to the.
Okay. Who else is going back to the Najira? All the others staying on this ship.
I'll go back because I don't like Yakib. I don't have a environment suit, so hopefully there's one on their ship that will fit.
Okay. Do you want to go looking for one on this ship?
No, we are docked. So, are you talking about when we get down onto the planet?
When we get down to the planet,
Yeah.
I might want to go for a stroll.
Yeah.
That is true. Okay, so you're going. Oh, are you saying you got an environment ship back on the Najira?
I'm hoping I have.
Yeah, I seem to remember Dave said there were environment suits for everyone.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
They don't do environment suits in the jungle where I come from, so I'm rather hoping that they've got one.
You didn't bring your own with you. Oh, I do.
No, sorry.
He did, but it's not very good in zero G and vacuum.
No, tend to suffocate quite quickly.
Fig leaf.
Right. Okay. So Fayez and Jalea, you're staying on this ship to protect the crew from the Legionnaires, and the other three are going back to the other ship. Okay, let's do that thing. Right.
Is Nadina staying on the other salvage ship?
Nadina notices everybody's discomfort, splits the legionaries. One stays on this ship, one comes back with you, and she comes back with you as well. After all, she's paying for passage on your ship, not this one.
Makes sense.
Right. So, as you break Atmo,
Breaking atmosphere. Isn't that leaving atmosphere or was that entering atmosphere?
well, I don't know, break into the Atmo. Forgive me. As you make planet Moonfall,
Carry on.
if we're being precise,
Planet's Moonfall. Is it just Moonfall? And for our younger viewers, we apologise if you saw some inappropriate.
He's going to get cross in a minute and start spending darkness points.
I will spend darkness points. I have darkness points to spend.
Dave, remember you got to do a piloting role at some point.
That's true. Hang on.
Okay. So, as you go down to the area, you'll notice that this moon is cold, blooming cold, frozen sheet ice, great shards of ice. Imagine this is like a science fiction film we're making. And you've got like crystalline structures that probably wouldn't actually really exist. It would all be worn down. But here you've got these jagged sort of shards of ice sticking up out of the atmosphere, like great plates of ice have rocked down into some sort of water underneath, then frozen over, then got all jaggedy. If you want to hover over the crash site, it looks like, as you're getting closer, the location of the ship is actually under a sheet of ice.
Okay, that sounds dangerous.
How long has the ship been here, do we think?
Well, at least sort of a segment, because...
But long enough for there to be water and then for that to freeze.
Well, the water's here all the time. It may have crashed into the ice and then it froze over. I think is probably what happened. I do have somewhere the exact dates of this because I thought you'd be blooming asking. I know you guys now. And in fact, I made a whole calendar for the purpose of keeping a track of the dates. Now, can you believe I can't find it?
Shame you can't find it.
But if our viewers would like to buy that calendar, it's available on Drive-Thru RPG. Just search the Coriolis calendar.
I used that calendar when I was prepping for Mercy 1. It was very
Excellent.
helpful.
And you found it very helpful. And that's
Very
endorsed by somebody I haven't even paid.
Yeah. In fact, I paid. Yeah, wait,
Something wrong here.
something's wrong there. Yeah. No, it's really
I know,
helpful.
I know.
It's a really cracking product if you're trying to work out, especially in like the Mercy the Icons one, because it's got all those dates. I remember watching you guys and you were going through and going, where is the communicator and when did she send that message?
Yeah.
And it was really good for that.
It seemed important. Seemed important at the time.
Any really good GM would work out that kind of time span and, you know, the timeline, wouldn't they, before the scenario started?
Anyway, I did work it out and I put it somewhere, but I can't find the file that it's on. So, yeah, about a segment ago is what I'm suggesting. So, you know.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Who's done it, Liz?
I'd got the wrong end of the stick about what this moon was like. So this is.
Right.
I'd kind
So,
of
yeah,
assumed
it's
that-
an icy surface. It looks like it landed on some ice, but there's water underneath. The ice cracked, or it didn't land, indeed. It came crashing into the ice, and the ice is now frozen over it. You can see, as you get closer to it, what looks like it may be a patch of thinner ice. Make a piloting roll, please.
Can I assist? Can I assist?
I think you can if you've got piloting. Or you
Well,
can
no,
command me.
he's going to give you some commands.
I've got.
Please.
I look down and say, "Look,
Don't crash into that
don't
ice.
crash into that bit." Yeah. Left a bit.
Adib is your backseat pilot, and as we know, backseat pilots
That really helps.
always improve your driving.
Okay, I won't then.
No,
Well, no, go ahead, make the roll.
I'm being very appreciative. And all those people on board our ship might be appreciative too before I crash it into the ice like this one.
Of course, what you could be saying, Adib, is these are some of the space shanties you've learned about flying a ship that you're reciting. Given that we were talking about space shanties in the Discord some time ago.
Well, Adib sings one of the space shanties he learned out of in a book while you were flying here, and unfortunately, he's tone deaf, so it actually doesn't do anything to improve your odds. I did not roll
You
any
can
successes.
you can pray to the who would that be? Probably the
Traveller?
if you want to pray, is what I'm saying. We could do it that way. Who would it be?
I've lost my book.
Is this for landing?
Well, it's the judge really for command. You'd be praying to the judge for your command roll. I'm just wondering whether you pray to the messenger for singing, but either way.
No, I was just thinking, is this him trying to land it, in fact, or
What? No, this is not for him trying to land it. This is
No.
for getting close.
I'll let you do this one, Ossian, and I'm going to silently pray to the
To the judge for the next time you
judge
do it.
for the next time. When you actually land the thing, I'm more worried about it
Okay.
crashing then, actually.
So your singing wasn't so bad. I don't lose a dice.
No,
Which
but
is
we
good.
can make that a rule.
I'd like to point out our music for the first time might affect AP dice trade. Thank you.
Excellent.
I received this week finally. Thank you. Right then, 5 dice. I'm pushing.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, 1 success on the second roll.
One success. Okay. So as you came over the area where this thin ice is, Tony, you're data ginning this and you can see
Yep.
the structure of the ship underneath. But as the gravitic projectors of the vessel actually went over that thin bit of ice, you could see the structure of the ship move like it's lodged on some underwater surface, and it might topple off that with the extra pressure of your gravitic engines just going down. So you shouted to Ossian to pull up, and Ossian pulled up over it. So, Ocean, you don't think you can land directly above the ship. You've got to go a little bit away and then walk
away.
to the ship.
How much further do you mean by further?
So is the surface of this moon kind of all ice then, with a subsurface liquid water sea?
Most of it appears, what appears to be mostly here. Are you advertising that cider, Dave?
Thomas is just accusing me of product placement when my wife brought me that. If only it was, Thomas. I'm not getting paid for it. So.
If any beer companies would like to sponsor us, though, just send a crate over. We will distribute it.
Anyway, sorry.
Optimistic.
So I don't. I think you know where it is. So half an hour's walk away, I imagine, in the ice and your exosuits.
Okay. Is there somewhere I can see to sit down? Sorry, Paul.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. About half an hour's walk away. Right. Do you think it's solid enough?
So picturing this is a bit like Enceladus.
Enceladus?
The moon. Jupiter, moon. You know,
Jupiter, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
The one with the tiger stripes.
Right, yes. I don't know anything about astronomy.
Okay. And with all the spatial geezers that are going to blow us off into space, you mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Don't give.
No, not like that at all. I can assure you, it looks pretty stable. Well, I say stable. You know, it's ice, but it doesn't. You're on the dark side. It's not swinging around. It's not going to suddenly heat up and explode or anything.
Is there somewhere the landing spot that I've spotted? Is it big enough for both Najara and the salvager ship to set down?
I assumed that's what you were looking for already. So
yeah,
yes.
Okay. Cool. I will land when it's the right moment.
And tell the other ship whose name I've just forgotten.
Yeah.
To land at the same time. Okay.
Yeah, and not fly over the actual crash site.
Right then. Okay. So I think I will need to get you to make, and this is the one where that crash site isn't entirely, or rather that landing site isn't entirely clear. So I think you need a piloting roll at -1.
Hang on, everybody. Strap in.
Can I do the assist after having some silent prayer?
Right. So you're saying you've now got preparatory prayer lined up for an extra dice if you have to pray on this command roll.
I'd like to say that it always makes your pilot or your driver feel better when the person in the back starts praying.
we're all praying.
It was silent prayer. He specified it was silent prayer. But we're saying it's preparatory.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So
okay, so make your command roll then.
Normal dice.
Normal dice first, and if you need to pray, an extra dice for having done the preparatory prayer.
I got one success there.
Okay, that's one dice. You could pray
bonus die for
the darkness point.
Do you want the darkness? Do you want me to see if I can get another success?
I always want the darkness points. Oh, you're asking them. Sorry.
Well, I've got 5 dice now, so extra dice would always be helpful.
5.
Okay.
What could possibly go wrong?
I know.
I'll go again. Okay. Unfortunately, he got a darkness point, and I didn't get any more successes. So you only got 1 extra dice there.
You should have prayed more loudly. That's what you should have done.
Well,
right then,
didn't want to put you off.
I got 1 success on my 5 dice.
1 success. That is all you need to bring it down without making any troublesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're about half an hour away. This environment is a thin atmosphere and weak gravity, so you will need to wear exosuits. You are also aware that you will be having to take these exosuits underwater, which they can do, but they're not really terribly manageable underwater. So they difficult dexterity rolls will be at -3.
I might just go to the arboretum and the chapel in the garden there and do a bit of.
So that is
praying.
with minimum 1 die, though, isn't it, on that -3?
Yeah, minimum 1 dice.
Can we take any equipment to help us with that? Have we got ropes and weights and things that we could take?
I'm sure you could do that, yes. But I don't know. Have you? It's your ship, mate.
Yeah, we have. We've actually got a complete underwater submarine.
We've got a submarine, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Submersible. That's just.
I noticed that not in your hold, which is too small to carry a submarine.
It's only a class 1 submarine. It's okay.
Yeah. It's basically Thunderbird 4.
No. So I'm gonna pray to the dancer, I think, to be on the safe side.
Okay.
I'm going to pray to the dance as well, because otherwise, well, even with that, I'm almost certainly doomed. But
Any preparatory prayer for those of you on the other vessel?
Is the dancer like dexterity? Is that?
Yeah,
Is that
yes.
yeah.
And melee
I
combat.
can share a screen, which Nicholas
Oh, there you go.
kindly
Alright.
is sharing.
There we
Cool.
go.
That's very clever. Actually, I think I'll do that next time.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a chapel over here, I'm assuming, but I will
I
make
think
some
there may
prayer.
be a chapel on that vessel. There's definitely one that when I was. Yep, there's a chapel.
All right. Okay.
So
well,
Matthew, if you pray in a chapel, when you push, you get 2 extra dice.
Exactly. Yes.
Do you only get that even if you only had 1 dice to start with?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm definitely praying to the dancer then.
So everybody's praying to the dancer.
Yep.
Yes.
Can
Yep.
I
The 2 legionnaires pray to the dancer.
have we got some tools on board the ship that we could use to cut through the ice if we need to?
Yeah. Well, the salvage team have on the other ship. Definitely,
Right,
they've got
okay.
that sort of stuff because
How-
it's
how
a salvage
thick is-
ship.
How thick do we think the ice is? Can we tell from our scans?
Well, thinner above where the ship is. Pretty thick in other parts. It varies. Although, where your 2 ships are taking off, it kind of does feel a little bit like the ice is cracking under the weight of your 2 ships. but obviously, Ocean assures you that the ice can take the weight because he got one on his pilot roll.
How assured do I feel that the ice can take the weight?
Entirely assured. Don't even question yourself. Not at this late stage, Ocean. You got a 1. And as we know, a 1 is just about a success. If you got a 3, you'd be entirely confident.
Okay, fair enough.
With
But a
our
1
scan-
is enough to reassure everybody else.
Fine.
With
Even
our
if I feel
scans,
a bit-
with our scans as we went over, were we able to detect how deep we think the water is under the island?
Yes, I think they do tell you that.
So when the ship sinks down, how far are we going to have to swim down in our suits to get back to it?
Right. So the ship is currently about 50 meters down. But,
Yeah, but I mean, when the ice breaks and the Najara sinks to the bottom,
all right. Well, that could be as much as half a kilometer down.
well, that's quite deep. But yeah, so the ship that we're looking for is 50 meters down.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's sitting on some kind of ledge, which
Yes.
Precariously.
precariously. Which really sounds like it's not going to be a problem at all, does it?
Should we go then?
Yep, let's go.
Okay, I'll stop sharing your prayer sheet then. Thank you very much for that, Nicholas. Oh, and this is just a test of the technology, by the way. So if you guys have anything you want to share, you can just press the share screen thing, and it comes up on my list of people, and I can then add it into the stream. So you head off. Okay, now you have got in your tanks about 8 hours of oxygen. It takes half an hour to get to the location where you think you can cut through the ice and get to the ship. I will be tracking time because, as you say, a good GM tracks time. I think you said that, Dave.
It's wise words of Chairman Dave. That's what it is.
Well, that's why you're the best GM, Dave. That's obviously why you're the best GM. I'm just learning at your feet here. It is also really cold. Even in your exosuit, you can feel the cold.
Can we go out in the vacuum of space in these exosuits? Don't we?
Yeah, you do, but you don't actually spend long out in space. And you think, I mean, you can feel you've got all these insulating layers on in your exosuit, but as you head out, you're thinking, have I ever done an 8-hour shift in here? How cold am I going to get? So I just want to lay those down as things you might want to think about as you're about to dive deep into icy water. Just laying that out in front of you.
Yeah, I think even icy water, it's still water, so it's going to be considerably warmer than the vacuum of space.
Right, okay.
I would say it's going to be boiling, isn't it?
Well, bear in mind when there's sunlight on you in the vacuum of space, it's really hot. So it kind of evens out.
Okay.
Anyway, you will. I may ask you to make checks against cold later on, but we'll see how it goes. So, after half an hour, you've got some sort of sensor off the other ship. Nadira and not Nadira is your ship. Nadina and the Legionnaires are coming with you, unless you want one of the Legionnaires to stay behind and look after the other crew. He's very happy to keep an eye on them.
Are many of the salvages coming with us?
They would prefer not to. They're looking after their crewmates, actually.
I wonder if we just bring the captain along.
Okay.
For salvaging advice.
Yeah, 'cause we don't want them either to A, just fly off, although that wouldn't be that bad, or B, to try and break into the Najara.
So the captain and both Legionnaires, you're saying?
Yeah, we don't want to leave the Legionnaires behind.
Okay.
Slaughter all
Very well.
their people.
So the captain obviously has a ship that, not a ship, exosuit that's designed especially for them, that's got extra arm pieces.
Of course.
And very happy to help you with this, as long as his crew are safe. Their crew are safe. So, you can find the Zafirah quite easily. A dark, recently frozen over patch in the otherwise massive sheet of ice of what is obviously, now you realise it with the sort of peaks around where you've landed, is a lake, effectively. The ice in this area where the ship crashed through is considerably thinner. As we've said, you've already worked out the ship was about 50 meters down. Could you make a data gin test on a probe that you've borrowed from the ship, Tony? At -2, please.
-2, okay. I get 2 successes on that.
-2.
Yeah.
Right,
I did 5
okay.
dice. 5 dice.
There's an anomaly in the outcrop of the ship. What I will say is you've already seen how badly twisted the bits of the vessel were that you encountered in space, in orbit, earlier on.
Yes.
What am I saying? I've just lost my entire train of thought. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. So you noticed the ship was incredibly damaged. You can see with your scans that this part of the ship does look damaged, but not by any means as twisted or as transformed as other parts of the ship that were left up in space. However, there is this anomaly. There is a bit of the vessel that simply does not scan. It's like a black hole. It's like there's nothing there. Right in the middle of the ship. Well, not right in the middle.
So inside the bit of the ship down here rather than kind of on the surface. Okay, I shall report that to everyone. So I'm sure it's, nothing ominous or to worry about.
I'm sure that's not where the green disc is.
Okay, so can we find a spot to sort of drill down into that should be above an airlock or some other, or hangar bay door or something?
Well, you're not, it's 50 meters down, so no.
Yeah, it's not encased in ice, it's in
Yeah.
water. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll notice I've just shown you the sort of thing you see here. These marks in the ice are not cracks. They are what looks like to be some form of algae under the water, under the ice.
Under the ice.
Yeah. And there's also, you can see things glowing under the ice as well.
Okay, so those things glowing are not the ship with the light still being on the ship. They're
No,
Okay.
they seem to be
Moving.
moving up. They seem to be slowly coming up towards the surface, but there's a lot of them, like a star field. This doesn't really do it justice, this picture, and it looks like, a countable number of quite large glowing things, whereas actually what you're really seeing are an innumerable number of smaller things, like a star field. So these brighter patches might be like galaxies, but looking under the water, you can see them all.
Like a swarm of luminescent jellyfish.
Something like that, yeah.
I noticed that in
They
the
seem to be.
Sorry, go on, Nicholas.
Yeah. Do they seem to be attracted to us moving on the ice, or is
No, if anything, they seem to be lighting away down to the ship.
That's not ominous at all.
no. This is all going to be fine, routine, nothing.
Oh, I've just got to do this event. This is great. When the PCs reach the crash site, spend a DP to get as many darkness points as there are players.
What?
Wait, what?
It's in the book. It's on page 37.
Who wrote that?
It doesn't say mandatory though, does it?
It says mandatory DP
Ah.
I think it actually says dick move.
Hang on, let me check. Hang on. Get the book off
I'd
the
also-
shelf.
But
I'd
yeah,
also like to point out that none of the people in that picture are wearing environment suits
they're wearing environment suits and they've got their rifles.
under their caftans. Okay.
Yeah.
Style. It's all about style.
Environment cafe.
They didn't brief the artist quite well enough. Oh, I've chucked.
Do you do that, man? You do that?
I did that.
That was a bit harsh.
Sorry, Dave. I chucked you out when I was going to be deleting my shared screen.
That's fine. That's fine. I've given you enough shit tonight, I guess. So it's only fair.
Yeah, but at that point, that was like one of the points where you were giving back the least shit that you ever have.
It would have given me a shit. He'd earned the darkness point. I just spent the darkness point to get rid of him. Okay, so you can break through the ice, but you must swim in your exosuits. And are you ready to go in?
think so.
Might as well. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Mine is.
Who's good at swimming in a spacesuit?
Don't know. Let's find out.
Not me. I think.
Keep your hands up.
So who's got the best dexterity or survival?
I think not me.
Well, how much of my survival applies out here in space?
These skills are brilliantly beautiful. They survive in all sorts of environments. If I wanted to be really mean, I might well say, well, your jungle survival doesn't do very much. You can't transfer much knowledge from the steamy jungles of Kua to the freezing waters of this place. But I'm not a dick GM. That's the sort of move that Dave would pull.
I knew that was coming.
Well,
In the slightest bit predictable.
Because it'll be narratively appropriate, don't you think? But never mind. I'm happy for Jalea to get good scores.
right. She has 9 in survival. Well, wits and survival.
Okay, I would roll that one.
All right.
That's either really good or really bad.
There's a lot of face huggers here.
Do you want to spend a darkness point?
I rolled 5 ones. Not a single 6.
Well, luckily, this isn't the sort of game where ones count for anything.
I know, but just like,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you have another darkness point. Let's try again. There we go. I've got 2 6s.
Okay. Thank you.
9 dice. That sucks.
And right, okay. So this is unusual to you, and you do feel a bit freaked out as you descend into the water. But you've been diving in the jungle pools of Kua. You're aware of some of the strange creatures there, and you're pleased to be able to decide that this algae is quite benign. You don't think it's going to be any threat to the team. And you're also noticing something else. Can I get you to make a culture roll?
Me?
Yeah. Do you have culture?
No.
Okay, then.
Do you want to point it out to those of us with culture, and we can have a go?
What's that? Or something. Look at this.
Okay. Somebody else want to make a culture roll?
I have 4 in culture.
I have 5 dice of culture.
You might as well make the roll, Tone.
Anyone
Can I give
else?
him the dice? Can I give him a dice of help?
No, I think in this, with Tony's kind of helping Jalea here, so make a roll.
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, Tony, you realise that these glowing things are in fact sugar globes.
Okay.
And as we all know, those of us who are familiar with the markets of Coriolis, sugar globes are ancient artifacts that glow when there is sugar water on them. So between the two of you, Yakub and Jalea, you work out that this algae must secrete a sort of sugary substance, which is what is making these globes start to glow as they come closer to the surface.
So do we think these globes would have come from the crashed ship then?
Possibly.
Because they're not. They are artificial manufactured things, aren't they? They're not like natural.
Well, they're not a thing that anybody knows how to manufacture. They are an artifact.
How much are they worth?
They are worth quite a lot, and these are quite small ones. They come in a variety of sizes. After the session, I will look that up. But yeah, there's
Should we collect a few, go and sell them?
a number.
Okay.
Do you want to collect a few, Dave?
Maybe on the way out, maybe.
Okay. So I was going to make you make a dexterity roll.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm just sitting there going, floating down, and trying not to
Okay.
move.
So you get closer to the deformed wreck of the Zafirah, and you can see that you know what the structure is. And in fact, I will share another screen with you for your successful earlier scan, Tony. I will share a screen. Yeah, this one. This is what this destroyer should look like if it was whole. And if I go to that window, give me a moment. That one. So can you see my cursor?
Yes. Yep.
So this bit of the ship is what you think you are now descending down to. You are aware of a number of individual sort of stasis pods, and you think that the one that you guys had got into to sneak aboard the other vessel was one of these from the midsection. You realise that it's probably the midsection here and this engine here, which had been still up in orbit. This is transformed into some sort of solid glass sphere. This was twisted terribly badly, just about the only thing salvageable by the guys. And the captain will tell you this, that they thought this was all twisted and dangerous metal, like the ship had almost been twisted in two. But that was a pretty whole unit, which they realised they could get some value out of. And that was there. So that's what they were pulling aboard when you ambushed them. And you can see that twisting occurring in this part of the ship as well. But this bit looks the most like it's meant to look.
Can we get any sense of what forces might have caused that twisting?
Not really. It doesn't look like any weapon you've seen
Okay.
or been aware of. Talking of this bit here, these spots here show critical damage. And there you do see again the sort of twisting and tearing of the structure of the ship, transforming it around something. Your best guess is it might be gravitic, Dave, since you asked, but you don't really have an idea that any gravitic weapons have done that sort of thing. But you're aware that these parts must be hangars, so they may be a way into the vessel.
And do we think the bridge there is the likeliest place to find the Emerald Disc?
Yeah, the bridge is slightly raised, so this is all these items on one level. The bridge is above it, but I'll give you a plan of the bridge. But yes, that is where the Emerald Disc should be. In this bit here is probably the bit where the Emerald Disc is stored.
Matt, now we're a bit closer. Is Yakib able to sort of surmise where that sort of black spot was when he was scanning?
Oh, right.
Probably where your cursor
You
is.
got
where the
two
emerald disc is.
successes, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Okay, for 2 successes, I will say that you can probably surmise. I just have to make sure that I get it right. Give me a moment. Where is it? Port and starboard. This spot here, somewhere in that hangar.
And presumably the ship is flooded, as far as we can tell as we're approaching it.
Not necessarily flooded all the way through, no, because airlocks should have kept some of the water out. But
Right.
As you approach, you can see there's damage to this, sort of hangar bay door. So it looks like that's flooded.
Yeah. I'm going to suggest let's avoid that black hole thing until we've found.
Yeah, that seems sensible.
Yeah. And we can check it if we feel like we want to once we've got the disc.
Can we see the damage? Are we close enough to see the sort of damage to the doors on that side, Matt? Are they blown in or blown out?
Blown in.
Okay.
Or pushed in with some incredible force.
Doesn't look like a breaching charge, though, presumably.
Yeah, Paul, you're Adib, you're a bit of a heavy explosive chap. You want to make a heavy weapons roll or whatever they call it in this game? Ranged combat roll.
You blow up one ship, and then you get hard
Yeah, for the rest of your life.
rest of the campaign.
Just get it all the time. I might get 2 successes by doing that.
Nice.
Okay.
No, my thought was it something getting in or something getting out? If it's something getting out, it's in the water with us now.
Yeah.
No, it definitely looks like something getting in.
Getting in.
Yeah,
You'd suggest that either it's a heavy projectile going at some force to get in, or even, well, a sort of ship at ramming speed or something like that.
So Ossian's right. Let's just avoid that.
Those words ring loudly in my ears, Paul, saying that I'm right.
Somebody's got to say it at least once in a lifetime.
Thanks, mate. I know I could trust you. Okay, is there another way in then? Can we try?
I can't specify a airlock anywhere here. It doesn't tell me on either this thing here or these might be escape pods. They might be a way in, but I can't see an airlock. You could definitely get in through a gaping hole here at the back. I think. I don't know where that would be. Bit there, maybe. That looks like it might be the weakest point. So I'm just trying to think where it had been ripped in half.
Those points where the critical damage is marked, would there be holes there to get in?
There are holes there. They look... so apart from this one, which has got sort of blasted in doors that look actually quite easy to get in, these look a little bit jagged, and you'd have to make a dexterity roll to get in on those points.
I'm not sure I want to do that. If I can possibly avoid it.
I mean, there must be an airlock somewhere. Yeah. Can we find an airlock somewhere near the bridge?
If it's snapped in two in the middle, I mean,
I would.
Not aware
Yes.
yet.
Yeah, half the ship's missing. There must be like just a
Yeah,
huge
that's what I said.
gaping-
Here.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh, no,
gaping hole about
No, let's
there.
go there. Let's go there then.
My only thought was getting in somewhere where there isn't flooded full of water. And if we go through an airlock, we might get through to a bit that isn't flooded. But that was all. But yes, going into the end with it's broken off is fine by me. Yep.
Okay. Or you can to make an observation roll. I'm sure I can find an airlock for you somewhere.
I get 7 dice with observation.
Let me just have a quick look at see if there's an airlock on another deck.
Okay. I get no successes, and I'm not going to push it. No, I'm being very, very. The face huggers are paying me a lot of visits today as well.
Yeah.
Right now, I think the best way is to come through here, but I will say, Tony, that you think that there's an airlock between this flooded thing and the bridge itself.
Okay.
These sugar globes, by the way, I should have said they're coming out of this hangar.
We seem to have lost your cursor again.
Oh, sorry, I'm on the
I
wrong
have
ship.
anyway.
Out of
Out of M3, we're talking about.
out of M3, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Hangar of Doom with the.
As it's known otherwise. The hangar of certain death. So, Adib, you go in there, mate.
Yeah, there's no way forward.
I feel like I'm being picked on.
Look, sticks and stones may is it like rockets and rockets may break my ship, but words will never harm me.
So are you going in through this way?
Yeah.
Giant hole.
Yeah, yes. Let's do that.
I'm not going to make you. This is a big enough hole. I'm not going to make you do a dexterity roll or anything like that.
Good.
So you can get in here.
Thank you.
And I think this discussion and surveying has taken you a good 15 minutes. I'm just keeping a track of your oxygen. So
How long did it take us to get down to the ship from the surface of the ice?
yeah, I think that's probably. I think you've probably used an hour's worth of air now, so you've got 7 hours. But also bear in mind how cold it is, because as one of our ship designers says, and I think I used the wrong one. He likes to point out that he can only leave you as radiation space, so you don't get half as cold as you can in atmo, or indeed water.
Yeah, thanks.
Sensible temperature is what we call it. Thank you
for
very
that.
much there, John. I think
Yeah,
I did.
thank-
I think
thank
I
you,
did your
John, for that.
actually tab rather than the one I meant to touch on. But there we
Yeah,
go.
thank you for justifying Matthew making us roll
Yeah,
from cold.
But still, the water's because it's water, it's above freezing, and the vacuum of space is going to be minus 200 and something.
Well, it may not be water.
So its freezing point is at minus 150 degrees.
But anyway, it's cold. It is bitterly cold. So you're in there. Nadina is with you. So as you go through this twisted, I mean, this is all twisted and jagged, but you can move pretty rapidly through here. You are aware that there is a sort of gravitic distortion field around here protecting it, but
Can't
you can
see,
get,
can't see your cursor if we're.
sorry, around the vessel. That this is protected by explosive decompression field, as it were.
So this ship has got some power, has it?
Well, no, I think that it had that in space. I don't know that it has power now. But when Nadina, well, yes, it does, because when she puts her ID key into this airlock here to get you into the ship, into the bridge, it cycles, and I will share another image with you.
Now a water lock.
Yeah.
Hold on, I've not got that image. Where's that image gone? There we go.
Oh gosh.
And yeah, screen, that one there. So you are coming in through this thing here. These doors open, water floods in, pressing you guys into this vestibule
Cursor.
here.
Can't see your cursor.
We're not seeing a cursor, mate.
Oh, sorry, wrong window. Water floods in with you guys into here when she opens these doors, but these doors are staying solid. You can the water drains out. If you wish, you can take your suits off, but eventually these two doors, this one and this one, open onto a sort of promenade around the main bridge.
Whilst the once the water's got down just before the doors open, I'm going to unpack my carbine from its secure bag.
Okay.
Yeah, similarly.
Do the suits have any sensors about which can tell us about the quality of the air?
Yes, I think it's stale, but here it doesn't look like it's turned into carbon dioxide by somebody breathing it and then not being transformed. But you don't think it's moved much.
But is it breathable, do you think?
It could be breathable.
Okay, I'm going to, once we're in, I'm going to let the airlock cycle, and then once we're into the main block of the bridge, I'm going to tentatively just open the visor of my suit, just to...
It is old, it is stale, but it appears breathable.
Okay, I'm going to keep my visor open for the moment and try and save on the air in my suit.
Okay.
But being prepared,
Likewise.
I'm going to leave it kind of on a state where I can very quickly close it again and start breathing the suit's air.
It is also very cold.
How cold?
The air on your skin, freezing cold.
So cold that it's going to damage me, or just slightly uncomfortable?
Depending on how long you stay with your visor open, yes, you imagine it will.
Okay, I'm going to shut my visor then and stick with my suit's air.
Yes, there doesn't seem to be life support systems functioning on here. The air that was in here was trapped in here when the ship was destroyed. So that's what's kept this hole, the explosive decompression field that was thrown up around it at that point. But since then, it hasn't been cycled at all.
Can I just ask, Matt, the white bit that's filled in just above, just north of the airlock, is that just solid part of the structure, so you can't?
Yes, I think
Right.
so.
Okay. And is there a door to the data vault then on the right-hand side?
On that side, yeah.
And that's where we'd expect the emerald disc to be.
I believe so, yes.
And on the left and the right and at the north, there are what look like doors. Where do they go?
To other parts of the ship.
Okay. So you said this was raised above the rest of the ship.
Yes, no, actually, I think what I mean was, yes, yeah, it's raised above. So this bit in the middle is probably in the space of the ship below you. These doors go out and down to those
Right,
those things.
okay, cool, thanks. It's like the bridge of a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, not raised that high up.
Right, okay.
So, do you want to the systems are sort of ticking over here, like the doors that cycled. Life support's gone, but these bridge systems are just about working.
As we look around, is it empty?
It's a mess. There may be bodies in here. There are, the seats. Anything that wasn't fixed in place has been broken. A lot of the monitors are broken. There is, you know how the Starship Enterprise looks when something really bad is happening in a battle. Or not so much the Starship Enterprise, because that always survives, but when they're having that last minute communication with another ship that's about to blow up, and the captain's there all hair messed up, bit burned, covered in blood, and there's kind of beams that you never see on the roof of the Starship Enterprise, but they fall down on all the other starships across the bridge. Those beams are sort of crisscrossing this bridge as well.
All right, okay.
Well, should we just go straight for the data vault? That's what we're here
Well, that's
for.
what we're here for, isn't it? So, yeah, so
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
make that the priority, definitely.
Let's go.
Okay, now she can do it. Again, the card that she has will open these up for you. But I'm going to need a technology roll, I think, to remove the emerald disc.
Okay, I've got 6 in technology.
I don't have technology at all. I can do it. If it's data gen, I could have a go, but technology, no.
Bears can help.
In here, you have also got the sensor logs. You could see if there's any further information on those. Tony?
Can I use my tools and then help from Fayez to try and get the disc out?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'll make that roll whilst we're here. Oh, God. Take a darkness point, Matt.
I will take a darkness point.
8 dice and no bloody successes. Okay, that's 2 successes this time on my reroll.
Okay, you have the data disk.
Okay, while he's doing that, I'm going to go over and check the sensor logs, see if I can just
Okay.
find anything useful.
Do you want to drop John's thing? Yeah, okay.
So, everyone, how important do we think these sensor logs are going to be? Do you think they're important enough to give Matthew a dark point? Since,
Yeah.
go on then, Matthew, have a darkness point.
Woohoo!
Let's try that again.
I've got such a stock of darkness points. When the shit hits the fan in 6 minutes' time, you're. I'm really going to spend those.
What for the cliffhanger? I get 1 success now on my data gen roll.
Okay, for 1 success, you can pull up this. And shall I make that bigger? If I can. Doesn't make it much bigger, does it? Damn it.
No, I won't need any. So this is a log of them going in the portal, through the portal, isn't it?
Yes.
Warning, anomaly on entry, unidentified sensor object.
There we go.
5 unidentified objects inbound. Hull breach. Unstable field pattern, lots of decompression, reactor spike. This looks quite bad.
Decompression in lots of sections. Defensive maneuvers. Data dump stored. Raw anomaly analysis data stored. Probes. Structural collapse in hangar.
Can we tell what information they launched on those probes?
What information they launched on those probes?
Yeah. Oh, but these like like data boys to we know we're going to get destroyed, so we're going to launch our black box kind of thing. But
No. So the black box is the emerald disc that you've achieved. Those probes were to probe the anomaly. Yes. So,
yeah. Okay.
and it doesn't look like they got any data back off them.
Okay.
Okay, so it detected an anomaly, 5 unidentified objects inbound, and then everything went to shit by the look of it.
Yeah.
Is there no way of being able to see what those unidentified objects were?
Well, I suppose the data on the disk, the emerald disk, might.
Well, I'll tell you what, for your use of a darkness point, the absence of data on these objects is very similar to the absence of data that you looked at on your scanners when you were looking at this ship.
Right. Okay.
I just like this one.
We've been there before, and we still don't learn, do we? That's the problem.
Well, you just want to re-roll, don't you? You can re-roll for the mere one little darkness point.
Yeah, I know.
And Thomas also says that.
Romulus.
Yeah, no, wrong IP.
Yeah.
I think he may be hinting at the absence of data there.
So we
When I was getting the disc out, is there any way of having a look at what was on it?
No, it requires special protocols.
Right. Okay.
Maybe a thing you can do with lots of time, but not a thing you can do freezing underwater.
Yaki, in your tech box, you don't have something that could just download some of these logs, do you?
No, I think Tony's doing that as part of downloading them.
All right.
As part of getting them, and he's not just getting them on the screen so you can read them.
Because it did say at the bottom it was on the emerald disk, so this might be an easy way to get that information.
Do we care?
Well, air's running out, so probably not.
Should we get out of here? Give the disc to Nadina. Complete the job.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, our job is not to actually work out what happened, is it? It's to recover the disc. There you go. We'll get paid. Thank you very much. Isn't it?
so
One of the legionaries is missing.
Was he in the airlock with us?
Well, do you want to make an observation roll retrospectively, Dave?
7 dice. How many ones? Is it worth pushing? I don't know how many times I've rolled 7, 8, or 9 dice today, and I've got no successes.
You're not sure that he was in the airlock with you.
Right.
So has he headed off on his own then to look at something else? Could turn
Well, you have no idea.
Well, I'm going to ask Nadina. The other legionary, do you know where he is?
She looks around. She hadn't noticed them gone either.
Is that Jenny?
I haven't given orders or anything. Shall we leave it on that cliffhanger? And you can decide what to do about that next week.
Bum, bum, bum.
Cool. I'm just thinking if there's somebody who might pay us more for this emerald disc than Nadina's paying us.
Well, the salvage guy was like, "Oh, that's very valuable."
Yeah, exactly. Is it worth more than 20,000 burr?
22,000 burr you're getting from Nadina, I think, as long as you're discreet.
We've been very discreet so far.
Let's say goodbye, though, to our viewers.
Thank you
And
for
we'll
watching.
see you same time next week. And do remember that you can like what we do, comment, subscribe, and get notifications on your YouTubes and the equivalent on the Twitches as well, I guess. And they're all saying goodbye.
Bye.
Sanjuro Tokaji reminds you sugar globes.
Yeah.
Yeah, how big are they? How many of those can we take back, do you reckon?
We haven't got out yet.
We could bag a few of those.
Bag some on the way out.
Yeah, definitely.
As long as I don't have to make
Okay.
a dexterity roll to do it.